to Money Mitch. Welcome traders. How we doing? Welcome to Money Mitch. If you guys liked Money Mitch, definitely let me know, guys. Hit the like button. Let's get this show started. If you guys want to find me, you guys can look me up on Twitter, Story Investor. You guys can find me there. Definitely, guys, one of the things that I want to tell you is that I'm here to teach you guys about story stocks. So if you guys notice, the bull market is here to stay. And one thing I definitely say is that there's an opportunity out there, and I'm here, Money Mitch, to help you guys find it. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to get into some of the topics of today. Today, we're going to be going into the earnings and noticing we had a ton of great companies report just here after the close. And then we're also going to be looking forward to what's coming up for the rest of the week. We're going to get into an interview with Clark Kendall. That's the president and CEO of Kendall Capital. So definitely stick around for that, guys. And then what everyone loves is the 3 story stocks. Today we're going to be going into some lithium plays, programmatic advertisement, and of course streaming platforms. I know that you guys have been watching these, and if you guys have been talking about it, I mean, I called Fubo back in October, but I'm going to come back and look at these stories and talk about a different stock that isn't on most people's radar, that has been on my radar, that I brought up last week on pre-market prep. But if you guys got here, you guys are going to be able to get a little bit more insight on why I like these picks. But like always, guys, if you guys could do me a favor, if you hit the share button down below, that's really how we're going to grow this community. And one of the things that we need to do is grow the Money Squad. So if you're here for the Money Squad and you want to join, let me know by give me a thumbs up, guys. I'm going to be doing some merch really soon. This week, you guys will be seeing merch for the Money Squad. So definitely join up, guys. I'm going to be giving out some shirts during the end of the week, probably on Friday. So stick around with me. Today, I've already made 1,000% return on my NFT. So I'm having a great day. And if you guys want to stick around with Money Mitch, definitely hit the like button, and let's roll that first trailer as we get into the market sentiment of the day.
I tell all my CEOs, this is a very important platform. And look, all the other platforms are important too, but you're up there now. You're way up there.
Best investments you can do in your future is actually go and re-educate yourself on credible sites and credible resources like Benzinga. I think you guys have been killing it.
The comment section on this show is remarkable. Like the quality of the combo, and just big shout out to you and your community.
That's what I love about you guys. You know, you just had all your callers in right then. And it's all about the community here at Benzinga.
What up, traders? I'm back. I'm trying to fix my light here, but I got it going here. Now, let's go ahead and let's start talking a little bit about the market, guys. And let's take a look at what happened today. I'm looking at the overall market here, the S&P, and it looks like just a sideways day. You know, it really didn't even give us much room up or down. But one thing that I will state, guys, is if we're going to break out through this 420, I think tech really needs to be back. And so that's what we're going to pay attention to. Is tech back? If you guys paid attention to the earnings, probably you guys are seeing that tech is coming back in some ways, but we're going to be paying attention. Will tech really come roaring back? And I think this is what you're going to really get us, that driver to break out of this trend channel, and it even past this top line that you kind of can draw towards that Harmony where we got close towards that 420 breakout. Let's see if we get a breakout tomorrow with these great reports that we saw recently. And so one of the things that I want to do is definitely get into the earnings today a little bit quicker, because there's a lot on the news and a lot to talk about, right? And so if you guys saw in the earnings report, before the open today, and we can talk about this, guys, and I want you guys to let me know in the chat, is that before the open, GM and 3M really talked about, so first we got General Electric CEO Larry Culp told CNBC on Tuesday that the company had seen supply chain issues and would raise prices to offset cost pressures in materials such as electronics, resins, and steels. And then 3M also said that during its quarter, it saw strong demand, but also supply chain disruption from the pandemic and winter storms that had driven up the prices of raw materials. And so this is the kind of talks that we wanted to pay attention to, where we're going to get inflation worries being brought up in our earnings report. And as you can see from General Electric and 3M, they certainly brought it up. And one of the reports that's going to be coming out tomorrow before the open that we got to pay attention to is how Bowen talks about this specific thing. That's what I'm going to be paying attention to. What Bowen talks about the inflation. Is their materials costs rising? That's what we need to pay attention to. All right, guys, I want to catch up with the chat here. What's going on? What's going on? How we doing? How we doing? You guys know already. Here for the money. You guys know it. I can't blame you. Aren't we all here for the money? I mean, if we're not here for the money, I mean, I don't think we're here for Mitch, but you guys already know we're here for the money. I can't blame you. We're going all night. We going all night blind. I can't blame you. I'll go all night. You guys just got to let me know. Hit the like. Hit the like. Let's get this rolling. So the next up on our earnings, guys, after the close today, we saw AMD's stock rise. And really, this was after seeing that their data, so really what happened here is their data center sales more than doubling. And so really, I mean, man, their cloud technology taking them off here. And that's AMD that we're talking about here. And one of the things that you'll see is that AMD increased their full year's revenue guidance after their record quarterly sales. And Chief Executive Lou Su said in a statement, "Our increased full year guidance highlights the strong growth we expect across our business based on the increasing adoption of our high performance computing products and expanding customer relations." So there you go, guys. As you guys can see, AMD doing great after their earnings today. And one that did take a hit today a little bit was Starbucks. I don't know if you guys saw that. If you guys like Starbucks, put a 1 in the chat. I want to see if there's any Starbucks fans out there. I know I'm a Starbucks fan. I can't blame you. I like my caramel macchiatos, but hey, who doesn't like a coffee every now and then? Let's keep rolling through. So Starbucks really, they raised its fiscal 2021 outlook for earnings and revenue, and same store sales rose 9%, returning to pre-pandemic levels. A year ago, same store sales in Starbucks home market fell 3% as lockdowns were implemented across the United States. And so this quarter, the customers bought larger coffee orders. You'll see the average ticket went up 21%, but traffic still is lagging behind by about 10%. Now, one thing that I do see is that the company also did raise its full year outlook for revenues ranging to 28.5 to 29.3 billion, up from the prior range of 28 billion to 29 billion. And so you see a slight increase there in their guidance. But one of the things that I'd state is that really what's happening with Starbucks is a story of concern for their international growth. As you guys know, a lot of Europe is still struggling with the pandemic, and I think that's really what you're seeing. Also, you're seeing international growth worries in say, other markets, like even the Chinese market. How are we going to do here with Starbucks? You know, Starbucks has been not only a leader in the United States, but a leader internationally, and so that's what we're going to keep an eye out for Starbucks. I'm seeing some ones roll through. Maybe we got one coffee. Get rich or die trying. I can't blame you, Steve. I can't blame you. That's what we're here for. So definitely smash the like button, guys. Let's keep rolling through here. Let's get into the next stock. The next big one, of course, is going to be Microsoft, guys. So Microsoft, what happened with Microsoft? Why did it get hit? A lot of people were asking why did it get hit. Really, Google did so well that it actually brought down Microsoft and raised the bar there. But Microsoft exceeded analyst estimates on top and bottom line. Earnings $1.95 per share adjusted versus $1.78 per share as expected by analysts, and revenues at $41.71 billion versus the $41.03 billion as expected by analysts. And Windows revenue growth from device makers was higher than the company had predicted. And Azure's cloud revenue growth was actually flat. I think this is where you started seeing some concerns in their earnings, is how is their cloud revenue going flat in a time when it should, the growth should be pretty steady up as the pandemic has really pushed the digital transformation. So that's what we need to pay attention to here, given to us by Microsoft, that really their cloud service is not doing that great. So we'll pay attention towards that. The next up, of course, is the big boy Alphabet or Google. Alphabet reported big beats on earnings revenues in Q1. The stock rose more than 4% in after hours trading. And really, I mean, come on, guys, we're here. YouTube ad revenue grew nearly 50% year over year. And YouTube ads were at 6.01 billion versus 5.7 billion as according to the estimates. And Alphabet reports big earning beats as their revenue grew 34%. They just blew it out the waters here. And I mean, when you take a look at it and you look at their prior, I mean, Google has been doing great. And one of the things that I definitely point out is how YouTube has really taken off. One of the things that's been mentioned about 2021 is that video content should almost 3 times the traffic. And so with that being said, we're going to be paying attention to what? That ad revenue. And just to give you guys a little hint of what's going to come up later, I'm going to be talking about programmatic advertising. And really, this talk plays directly into that story. So stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. We're going to be talking some more in-depth stories in a little bit. But one of the things that we're definitely going to watch out for is how we see Bowen report tomorrow, and do we hear more mentions of inflation? Of course, on my radar also tomorrow before the open, Wingstop, Six Flags. Let's see how the Six Flags, do they have yearly passes being filled up? You know, seasonal passes being bought. That's what I want to see and hear from Six Flags. And of course, we'll hear after the close tomorrow, Apple, eBay, Facebook, MGM, Grubhub, Qualcomm, Berkshire's, Ford. There's so many to mention. It is too much. It is completely loaded up there, guys. So definitely stick around as we keep going through the week. And then on Thursday, we're going to be looking at Caterpillar, see how that infrastructure talk has been moving on. And also, of course, we'll be looking at some big names. Overstock is one that I'm going to keep an eye out. You know, if it could get a good report, I think it could make a good run, as I've been watching this as somewhat of an outdoor play as people go ahead and make some purchases to bring some outdoor play back to them. And another thing, Thursday after the close, NIO. I know that's on a lot of people's radar. And of course, Amazon always an earnings killer and always destroys earnings. So I'll be paying attention to see how Amazon destroys earnings on Thursday after the close. And then Friday, of course, we got some oil that we'll be paying attention to, like ExxonMobil and Chevron. And of course, the Clorox company telling us a little bit about how inflation is panning out, guys. So that's what we're going to be paying attention to. Looks like you guys are enjoying it. Apple going to blow up, Tony. I'm going to look for it. One of the things that I need to pay attention to is, do they have some problems with their chips? And is that going to affect their supply? But we'll definitely be paying attention to it. All right, guys, let's keep rolling through here. You're hoping for an Apple dip. I think you and I both. I think we'll definitely keep a watch. And definitely crypto mentions with Overstock. Let's see if they mention something about accepting. They've actually talked about blockchain. I mean, Overstock, really, that's how it made that move up. So let's hear if they can expand on that. What else can they do in crypto, and how we can keep moving forward in Overstock? So good mentions there. Thank you, Hertz. I see you there. I see you definitely. Hey, so you guys smash the like button. Smash the like button if you guys enjoy me going through the earnings. And like always, leave me some comments after, guys. If you guys don't want me to touch earnings, I won't touch them. I do it for you guys, you know. And so let me know in the comments what you like about the show, what you don't like, what you guys want me to do more of, and I definitely will get working on that. Let's go ahead and let's get into our interview today. And so up next, guys, we got Clark Kendall, and that's going to be the president and CEO here of Kendall Capital. And we talk about some trending topics coming up, guys. We're going to talk about SPACs. We talk about some EV. We talk about growth versus value. We talk about story stocks. So stay tuned, guys. Will be right back after the trailer. All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. Now we're going to get into the interview of the day. I've been waiting all day for this one. I know that if you guys been, hit the like button. Up next, we got Clark Kendall, president and CEO of Kendall Capital, and we're going to be talking about some really hot trending topics. So stay tuned, guys. Hit the thumbs up, and let's start that special guest. All right. Welcome. How you doing, Clark?
I'm doing great. Great to be on your show. It's
looking good. I love the tie. It looks like mine, and I think that would represent money right there. Yeah. I like it. It looks like you got some good stuff in the background going on, but we'll go ahead and get into our interview. I know that you are probably like me. You've been seeing the market go up and down and sideways, and everyone wants to know the answers. But first, I'd like to know a little bit more about you. Tell us about your background and what Kendall Capital really is.
That's great. Bought my first stock when I was 12 years old. When I graduated from college in 1983, the Dow was at 1,000. Back in the 90s, I became one of the first to be both a CFA and a CFP. Owned a seat on the New York Stock Exchange, worked worldwide, Royal Bank as a private banker, started Kendall Capital 15 years ago serving middle-class millionaires, and it's been an honor to serve people throughout the country.
I love it. I love the middle-class millionaire. I love that. I love it. So tell us right now, one of the biggest things that we've been seeing is really kind of this change in the market between growth and value. I'm sure you've seen it advising. What do you think right now about the battle right now between growth and value? Do you think there is a change there? Has there been kind of a change here?
Well, keep it all in perspective. Last 10 years, it's been growth stocks. The top 5 stocks now have just dominated the market. It hasn't been until really September we saw that shift back to value. I always tell clients, remember the first 10 years of this century from 2000 to 2010, value dramatically outperformed growth. And they did that right after the Y2K meltdown. So I think in some respects, the market is transitioning, and I think it has a much longer way to go to transfer back to value investing, because all investments boil down to that return of cash flow and the predictability of that cash flow.
Definitely. I have to agree. One of the things that we've been seeing is for a time there, it seemed like multiples went off the roof there, but definitely we're going to be seeing those multiples come down a little bit, and we can focus a little bit more on value. Now, one of the biggest kind of new trends has been SPACs. And I do another show called SPACs Attack, but I'd love to hear your opinion. Do you think that we're in a SPAC bubble? And do you think maybe we're in a kind of another time like maybe 1999?
Hey, let's put it this way. When people pay 20% to Shaq O'Neal and Alexander Rodriguez to manage their money, you kind of got to ask, is Warren Buffett worth paying 20% for? You know, to have him manage your money? It's just excess in the marketplace. So do I think SPACs are overpriced? I call it the landmine of the markets today, and people really need to stay away from SPACs. I can't emphasize that enough.
Well, definitely, you know, one of the things that we've seen is there is definitely some traps out there, probably with some pre-merger or what I call the fantasy SPACs. There's definitely them out there. But one area that we have seen become a major trend is clean tech. And you know, one of the things that I'd wonder is there any one certain area of clean tech that you're focusing on? Is there any one industry that you'd kind of point out?
Well, I'll tell you, one of my sons works as an ocean engineering, and they're into clean energy, the wave energy, working with the energy in our ocean. But I'll tell you another thing that they're doing is construction. They're doing things like they're renting equipment from United Rental. They're using Generac Holdings. You build these Tesla charging stations. All those things take infrastructure to build. Instead of trying to figure out what's the new cleanest energy, I think the infrastructure that's building the clean energy that we are going to have in the future, I think that's the way you need to be positioning clients' portfolios.
All right. Now, the last question I'd have for you, and then, of course, you know, I always talk about story here on Money Mitch. And so I'd have to ask you, what is your story stock out there? What kind of stock do you feel is really been moving because of the trends out there right now?
Well, I think the story stocks in the marketplace is we saw earnings report from Tesla, strong earnings, and the stock's down 4 or 5% today. I think the story stocks, even Microsoft, that's done extremely well, is down in after hours trading today. I come back to we are going to have electric vehicles in the marketplace. I think the infrastructure play of, as far as that goes, that's like Magna, is one of the infrastructure plays. Borg Warner, the companies that go into making the electric cars in the future, because things like Tesla trading 22 times revenue is just way overvalued. It reminds me of Qualcomm in the year 2000. Qualcomm was trading at huge valuations over the last 21 years. Revenues and earnings are up 18 times, yet the stock still only trades at 60, 70% of the value that it was 21 years ago. Yet we're still using Qualcomm's technology. And I think the same most likely will be said about Tesla in 2040.
All right, and the last one I'd leave off is something that you kind of just mentioned right now, Qualcomm. You know, I'm been paying attention. I'm going to be paying attention to the earnings that come out. But one of the things that I'm looking for is mentions of that kind of the chips shortage. And do you think that that's really going to come into play in 2021? Do you think that we're going to really see the supply chains kind of affect these tech stocks?
Well, I think it already has. And, you know, who can come to the market with quite frankly, with the supply to meet the demand that, quite frankly, the cars and so many other the manufacturers are demanding in the marketplace. It is a good segment of the market to participate in. Another great example of, you know, not chasing after Tesla, but chasing after the component manufacturers in the marketplace.
Well, thank you, Clark. You have been a great guest for me. I love how we touched a whole variety of topics. I'm going to be keeping up with you. And how could our audience find you?
I'd be honored to reach out to us for our website, kendallcapital.com. It would be an honor to reach new middle-class millionaires that help them on their journey in the private client market.
Well, thank you, Clark. Hey, as you guys heard it here first from Clark Kendall, President and CEO of Kendall Capital. We are looking for that new investor just like he is. I'm doing the same and working the Money Mitch ways. And we'll see you guys. Let's go ahead and go to the next cut here, and we'll get to the next segment of our show. Thank you guys for joining.
Get winning options trades from Benzinga's top option trading expert, Nick Shaheen.
I don't risk money I can't afford to lose. Clearly, conviction is medium, probably at best here, because I'm swinging. I don't have a particular trigger. So it's not like it's gambling. We did homework. We showed fundamental reasons. So it's not like betting, I hope it's red, I hope it's black.